Hello, folks. Welcome to today's football predictions on Betcraft. Okay, today is another very beautiful Friday morning. As usual, so many games going on across the globe, and we came up with a few that we looked into thoroughly before bringing it forward for you. All right. And yesterday we had a very, very successful outing. We saw that all the games that we predicted were actually on point, top notch. All of them played out. Big odds, small odds, not a problem. All of them played out just the way we predicted them. Kudos to those of us that won. Congratulations to all of you all. And let's move on. Let's look at today's game. All right. In a short while, we'll be looking at this match one after the other. And I want those of us who are coming across our video for the first time to kindly use this opportunity, take our time to hit the subscription button right now, and also turn the notification bell on so that you will always receive notification once we make our predictions. All right. All right. That being said, without further ado, let's head to the business of today. And today we'll be starting with the German Bundesliga match. The league matches are back, and we have Borussia Dortmund coming up. Borussia Dortmund coming up against St. Pauli. All right. And as usual, we'll take a look at recent games for both sides, and as well as how they fared in home and away perspective before coming up with our verdict on this very encounter. So if we look at Borussia Dortmund home side, in the last 6 games that they had, they've actually won 4 out of those 6 games. They have lost 2. And away side, on the other hand, St. Pauli have managed to achieve 1 victory, 1 draw, but have lost 4 games in the last 6 recent matches. Okay, when you look at how these two teams have fared from home and away perspective, you could see that playing from home, Borussia Dortmund have actually been able to achieve 8 victories in the last 10 home games that they had. We saw them in the last home game where they were able to achieve victory against Celtic, winning by 7 goals to 1. Okay, they've also lost 1 game and they've had 1 draw in the last 10 home games that they had. That's Borussia Dortmund doing so well. And looking at their away side, on the other hand, St. Pauli playing from away have actually managed to achieve 10 out of the 10 games that they play from away, they've actually managed to achieve 5 victories from home, and have lost 5 games as well. From that 10 away games, they have won 5 games and have also lost 5 games. Out of the 10 games that they played from away. All right, that's to say that 50% of the away matches have resulted to a loss, as well as 50% also resulting to a win for their away side. But when we look at how these two teams fared in a head-to-head perspective, you could see that the last time they met was, St. Pauli, who had the upper hand on that occasion. That was far back to 2022, and they were able to defeat Borussia Dortmund by 2 goals to 1, and that was in the German Cup. But also, looking at the last 6 head-to-head meetings for both sides, they actually produced a lot of goals, and 5 out of those have actually seen over 2.5, and in this very one, a minimum of 3 goals appearing in this very encounter is quite fitting for this very one, and it is over 2.5. That was verdict for that very encounter. Okay, that takes us to the next game for today, and it is in Russia League, where we have Akron, who will be facing Zenit St. Petersburg. Okay, and we're looking at how they fared in recent games. You can see that Akron, the home side, have won 3 games in the last 6. They also had 2 losses as well as 1 draw in the last 6 matches that they had. And away side, on the other hand, Zenit St. Petersburg have had 5 victories in the last 6 recent games, but have lost just 1 game out of those 6 games that they had in recent times. All right, when you look at performances from home and away perspective, you can see that Akron, the home side, have actually been able to manage 4 victories in the last 10 home games that they had, and they've also had 2 draws, but have lost 4 games in the last 10 recent encounters. And they're looking at the away side. On the other hand, Zenit St. Petersburg is a team that have managed to achieve 7 victories from away, and they've also had 1 loss, but and 2 draws in the last 10 away games that they had so far. And we know that Zenit St. Petersburg is a very big side, actually the biggest side in the Russian league, and are doing very well at the moment. And we look at how they fared during the head-to-head meetings, and the last time they met was earlier this month. We saw Zenit St. Petersburg beating the side by 5 goals to 1 on that occasion. Prior to that, they also had a 1-1 draw. But in this very encounter, seeing that Zenit St. Petersburg possess a lot of quality, and we do expect to see the away side winning this match out shortly in this very encounter. So it is a win. That's our value for that very game. All right, that takes us to the next game, and it is in Austria League 1, where we have Lafnitz coming up against first Vienna. Okay, when you look at Lafnitz in recent matches that they had, they've actually lost entire 6 games that they had in recent times. And also looking at their away side, First Vienna. First Vienna have managed to achieve 4 victories in the last 6 matches that they had, but they've also lost 2 games out of those. And when you look at how they fared from home and away perspective, you could see that playing from home, Lafnitz have never won any single match in the last 10 home games that they had. They can only muster 2 draws out of those 10 matches that they had, and they've also lost 8 games out of those. And away side, on the other hand, have managed to achieve 7 victories in the last 10 away games, but they've also had 2 losses as well as 1 draw. Okay, but one thing that is quite noticeable is for the fact that Lafnitz is a team that concedes lots of goals. They do not have a very good defensive record, and in most of in the last 10 home matches that they had, they've actually conceded so many goals, and each of those matches they've not won any single one, but the matches have ended up having lots of goals, and all the 10 matches have seen over 2.5. And also first Vienna, on the other hand, from away, they've been winning and be scoring goals, and actually 9 games out of the past 10 away games that they had also have seen over 2.5. So in this very encounter, we definitely expect to see a minimum of 3 goals appearing in this very game. So at over 2.5, that's our expectation for that very encounter. All right, that takes us to the next for today. But it is in Denmark, Danish League, where we have FC Copenhagen who will be up against Vejle. All right, their way side. Okay, when you look at Copenhagen, they've actually won 3 games in the last 6 matches that they had, and they've had 2 losses as well as 1 draw in the last 6 games. But away side, Vejle have actually managed to achieve 2 draws in the last 6 games, but have lost 4 games out of those 6. Have not won a single match in the last 6 encounters. That's the away side. And looking at how those two teams have fared from home and away perspective, you could see that for Copenhagen, FC Copenhagen have actually won 7 games in the last 10 home matches. They've had 2 draws as well as 1 loss in the last 10 home matches that they had. And when you look at the away side, on the other hand, Vejle, who have managed to achieve 2 victories in the last 10 away games that they had, but have also had 2 draws and have lost 6 matches out of those last 10 away games that they had. All right, I'll tell you a lot about this side. And the last time they met, it was Copenhagen who played from away on that occasion. They are actually able to win that match, and they won that was September this year, and they won that game by 2-1. And Copenhagen have been quite dominant on the last 3 head-to-head meetings for both sides, winning on all 3 occasions. And and when we look at the entire series of 10 meetings, there's never been a time that Vejle have been able to achieve a victory against the Copenhagen side. The best they could muster is a draw. They have gotten 2 draws, but Copenhagen have won on 8 occasions out of the past 10 meetings with this side. So in this very game, we definitely expect the home side, FC Copenhagen, to achieve a result in this very game, and it is a home winner outrightly. That's our value for that very encounter. All right, that takes us to the next, which will be the last for today. It is in Northern Ireland Premiership, where we have Loughgall will be up against Linfield. All right, Loughgall have lost the entire 6 games that they had in recent matches, and the away side of Linfield have won 4 games out of the last 6 games, but they've also had 1 draw as well as 1 loss in the last 6 recent encounters. But when we take a look at how these teams have fared, from home and away perspective, we could see that Loughgall, the home side, have managed to achieve 3 victories in the last 10 home games. They've also had 3 draws, but have lost 4 games out of the last recent 10 games that they had. As a matter of fact, the last 4 home games that they had saw them losing out on all 4 games. All right, and Linfield, on the other hand, their away side have won 7 games from away, but they've also had 3 draws. The last 3 away games that they had saw them achieving victory on all 3 away games. All right, that tells you that Linfield is a very, very, very fantastic side. Winning, we saw them defeating the likes of Crusaders, and Coleraine as well. So Linfield is quite a very, very strong side in this Northern Ireland Premiership League. And looking at the last time they met from head-to-head perspective, you could see that Linfield was able to achieve victory against Loughgall, that the last time they met, and that was August, and we saw Linfield beating this side by 5-1. Prior to that, Linfield also won by 2-1 from away. And also looking at the entire series, you could see that out of the past 8 head-to-head meetings, it has always been Linfield who has won this very tie on each occasion. There have never been a draw, there have never been a loss for Linfield. It has always been Linfield who always wins against this very side Loughgall. So it is the away side to win outrightly in this very encounter. That's our value for that very game. Okay, that brings our predictions for you today on Betcraft to a conclusion. All right, I wish you the very best of luck, and I hope your ticket goes through once again, just like yesterday. All right, remember, it's only a football game. Anything can happen. Also, try to play responsibly. All right, that being said, tomorrow is another day, and we'll be coming up with our predictions on this very channel. Do not miss out. But until then, keep winning.